Time again, folks, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Nighttime Pit. On Nighttime Pit. One time, I haven't done this in a long time, folks, and we're in the studio of my good friend Richie Offer, of course, Seventh Heaven Studio. This is where all the magic happens right here, and this is the mastermind behind it. And why are we doing this at night, folks? Because we're promoting the MSC World America cruise. It's going to happen January 14th through January 24th. So it's going to be great. We got a lot of stuff. First, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. And every show is dedicated to the first responders. The men and women in the military are veterans and mostly people like you watching the show. So it's showtime. Let's go.
There you are, right there.
There on the ship. There you go. And that was, of course, Richie and the boys from Seventh Heaven, that little intro, like I say all the time. Guys, we're in the Seventh Heaven studio, somewhere in the Bahamas, and it's on some private studio. Anyway, we're promoting the big cruise coming up. And before we get into that, let's just take care of business. Just real quick, our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Now, get ready for the winter season, folks. Root development, nutrient storage, early spring green up. Man, there's a lot of stuff you're going to need to take care of going into the winter. Inspect the roof and gutters, seal draft and gas, protect outdoor plumbing, winterize outdoor equipment, stock and emergency kits, flashlights, batteries, blankets, bottled water. Check the alarms, folks. And right now, folks, you buy two, you get one free on select first alert smoke CO2 detectors. And you buy three, and you get one free Ace Basic pleated furnace filters. And don't forget those last minute Halloween decorations.
The Christmas Christmas
lights. Now Christmas lights, get them now.
Christmas
right
lights, Christmas trees, Christmas wreaths.
Yeah, Thanksgiving,
Santa Claus,
grab a turkey, whatever it is. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. All right, so of course you see us when we do the afternoon show, but we needed to do something to talk about the Chicago Music Cruise. And I know some people probably are going to be jumping on a little later, but you guys can watch this anytime. So it's going to be here. First of all, Richie, thank you for being here, buddy.
I love
putting us to your wonderful place here. I love you, my brother. And we're talking about the cruise. This will be my third one with Seventh Heaven, folks. And we're excited because this will be our first venture together on a new ship.
Yeah. Italian
ship. So it's not just Italian. People thought it was just a Italian ship. No, it's just a regular ship, but it's owned by Italians.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
If you don't like, you get thrown off the ship.
You get thrown off the ship. But Richie, before we get onto this, now you guys, I don't know, how many have you done with Seventh Heaven already?
Oh, over 20.
Okay,
yeah,
so
a long time.
Okay, so and it's always been with Royal Caribbean, and a lot of the people are saying,
yeah,
and Royal Caribbean was great. I did.
I love their ships, best ships. They're one of the best ships that you can go on.
Yeah, and we were on 3, and it was fantastic. I mean, we had a great turnout. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try a new ship here. And a couple of the questions: why Royal Caribbean? Maybe now, what's the change? Why the new MSC World America?
So Royal Caribbean. I mean, Royal Caribbean has had some of the best ships that you can go on, and it still does.
Yeah.
The one thing when people go on cruises, they're only thinking about the destinations and the price, and those things are important, but the ship itself is very critical because it's what you spend 98% of your time on doing when you're on a cruise. So stability, redundancy for power, food options, entertainment options, how they disperse the people so you're not too crowded in the environments. Those things matter. The service, obviously. The stability in itself. I mean, some cruise ships, the older ships don't have stability. So the newer ships have stability. So when people are like, I got a good deal on a cruise, I go, you might want to spend a little bit more and go on a better one so you have a good, enjoyable week. So when we went on Royal Caribbean, they've been changing with COVID, all these cruise companies lost billions of dollars. And so they all have different business models to try to get that money back. And so within that, you and I, when we want to do our little group cruises or music cruises, sometimes we're not a priority to them to get their business model back up and running. So last cruise we were just on, in March, we had a difficulty of trying to find public spaces to play. We still played, but we played at odd times at midnight and too late, And so I was frustrated with that. The MSC World America, it made a ship that was the same size as an Oasis class. So it had the same similarities in every aspect. And I was like, it was half the price. And that's the thing when I was bringing up COVID, is that because they lost billions of dollars, they've been charging more and more money for their cruises. And it was starting to get a little high. And I felt like, I do think that it's worth the value, but I also felt it was a little high in price. So I decided that why don't we try another ship, another cruise line, and see how it is. If we can have the similar experience for half the price, then maybe eventually we can get to the point where we're rolling double the numbers with people. I've never been on MSC before.
Neither of us have. Yeah.
I have been on Carnival. I have been on NCL. I've been on Princess. And I've been on the Disney. So, and Royal Caribbean is the one I've traveled the most on because they've always been the best bang for the money. I'm saying, well, why don't we give this a chance? It's only half the price that it would be if we went on Royal Caribbean. Let's give it a chance. I mean, what's one vacation? It's, because we're going to do a lot of them.
Yeah. And that's important, folks. And like I said, if you just joined us again, we're talking about NTD Vacations putting this cruise together, MSC World America, January 17th to January 24th. Now, it's going to be 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Ocean Cay, which is a private island owned by the MSC World America, which is really kind of cool.
Right.
And since there's so many questions, so many things that people enjoy about cruising, and like I said, this is January when you're freezing your asses off.
We're getting there now.
We're getting there now. It's starting to get cold. Right.
I got sleeves on, bro. I got sleeves.
And you know what? So I'm excited about this. And it's, and the way Richie, what I like about Richie does too, when he puts the schedule together, when the bands are playing, there's plenty of time to see the bands and do everything else on the ship.
Yeah, enjoy the ship. I mean, that's important, Ed. If you're going to go on the cruise, I want you to enjoy the cruise, and we're just an accessory to that. I don't want to supersede it where that now you can't enjoy the cruise because you and I are monopolizing their time. Correct. I want to find a way so that everybody can enjoy all particles of the ship, and then we're like the frosting on top of the cake.
Correct. And that's the bad thing about it. And, some of the questions that you get now, one of the questions that people asked, first of all, let me see, just hit this real fast. All right, get that, Francine. Now, I know Francine booked. They're doing a show. We are excited to cruise. So they're the first time they're going with us on that. So that's kind of cool. Real fast, Richie. Okay, so some people say, do I have to dress up? Is it casual, the whole dinner thing? Now, if I'm correct, is it 2 dinners nights? That it's
typically on a cruise ship, you have 2 on a 7-day cruise. You have a 2 formal night. That's typical. Yeah. I've never done MSC, so I'm not 100% sure. I'll have all those answers before we sail. But this, like what I'm wearing right now, you could almost say this is formal, even though my ripped jeans are not formal.
Because you got a collar.
I got a collar.
Yeah,
I've got sleeves on.
And I think
I've got sleeves.
Right. Well, that must be the winter show gear, right? Because the summer show, there's no sleeves.
I got sleeves.
So, so people think, oh my God, the casual thing, I have to be in a suit.
Yeah,
it's not like that at all.
No. I mean, it's by choice. I mean, some people do like to dress up, and that's okay. It depends on your style and your comfort zone. The downside with traveling with a suit is that you obviously got to travel with a different type of, you can't really fold a suit really well into a suitcase, it has to be in a wardrobe kind of,
well, or you roll them up and then you have to hang them up.
Now you could on the ship, you could rent a tux, that's an option. You could, and they have pressing on there, so you can bring your clothes to get pressed on the ships. Those are options for you as well. So you could dress as casual and as formal as you want. It's really by choice. you remember, this is a vacation. This isn't a, a banquet dinner.
Banquet dinner, right,
I mean,
right.
this is like we're having a vacation, and there's multiple venues. So even on the formal nights, you can go to other venues to eat dinner. You don't have to go into the formal dining room on formal night if you don't want to.
There's a lot of places.
There's a lot of places to eat on this ship,
which is very cool too. Another thing about kid-friendly ship. Now, this is MSC is a kid-friendly ship, but but there is places that adults can go to.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you're going to be just surrounded by kids.
You're not really surrounded by kids. Typically, cruise ships, the kids are centric into an area like a kids zone.
Yes.
That has, arcades, teen discos, teen little juice bars, places for teens to eat, little gaming centers. You could everything from babies with a nursery all the way up till teenagers. They generally are centric to areas of the ship that most adults don't go to. I have never seen I don't know how MSC does this. Some of the things we're going to learn firsthand, but I can tell you from all the cruises I've been on, generally the kids are centric. You will see them in the afternoon on a sunny day running by the pool. Yes.
Or on breakfast.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but kids are generally typically, centric to what they're doing for kids activities, and the cruise lines generally know how to keep those kids occupied away from, they're not going to be in the casino. I mean, obviously they're not allowed in the casino.
Correct.
Are you going to be in the casino?
No, I don't go to.
Oh, you never gamble?
No, I'm not a gambler. You're not a gambler.
No, not at all. I haven't gambled. I haven't gambled in like 10 years.
We have enough money to waste on that. We don't have to go to my buddy Carlo was with us. Look, he's on his 4th free cruise because he spent the money on Royal Caribbean. They keep sending him.
Come on the ship again. Yeah. I always say when
he's leaving on Sunday.
I always say when Vegas gives you free. I heard my you are. I always say when Vegas is sending you free hotels, it means you spent a lot of money.
Well, that's what I say. You already paid for that cruise over.
They don't send me nothing.
But they don't send me nothing either. But there's perks. If you are a gambler, you can get, like, Carlo gets a postcard every day. Hey, come to Hawaii or whatever, because he's already paid for it, but he can go, and that's pretty cool. Even though you paid whatever you did, you can go to a lot of nice vacations with that. So there is gaming, there's gambling, obviously. There is a smoking section. I'm a cigar smoker, not a cigarette smoker, but so there is one there too, which is cool. The big thing here, before we get that, let's get to another quick sponsor here, folks. And of course, she's going to be joining us a little in the hour. My good friend, Mary Grievous. Don't just call me when you're ready to buy or sell. Contact me when you're considering buying or selling. She's your forever agent. Mary Grievous. It's mgrievous@starkre.com. Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Available at buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, and expired listings. It's that simple. 630-688-1725. And then, of course, we'll talk about Mary and Richie, NTD Vacations. If you want to join us on this great cruise, folks, you got to jump on it, folks. That's right. January 17th to January 24th. You got to go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com, put in Tony Ocean, say Tony sent you, or pick up the phone and call Mary at 630-688-1725. Say, I want to go on the ocean with Ocean, and it'll be fun too.
I like that. There's a ring.
Like that?
There's a ring
to
that.
There's a little ring.
I'm going to Photoshop you on the ocean. You're going to do that. A little ocean on the ocean.
All right, Richie, now you've been on so many of them. And what is your opinion on all the ones you've been on? Is there drastic differences on all the ships you've been on?
That's a great question. I think the biggest importance when it comes to cruising, regardless whether you're a part of our group or not, it has everything to do with the ship itself. The ship is so much of it's amazing to watch the marketing of these companies where they focus, the kid on the water slide or the destination, or, the sun or the beach, which there's a sun and a beach all over the Caribbean. What is unique is, if you went on one ship and it was not good, and you went on another ship and it was amazing, your perspective of cruises is different. It would be like going to White Castle and then going to Ruth Chris and saying you've had red meat at both. So the analogy I'm using there is that, yes, you're on a cruise, but if you're on an older ship that, like, let's give an example, not to knock the company, but an older Carnival ship that was maybe made in the 70s or 80s that only has one engine. If it breaks down at sea and that engine breaks down, toilets don't work, electricity doesn't work, the air conditioning doesn't work. You're stuck in the ocean, and you got to wait to get that fixed before you do it, or if you have a fire. Now, that's happened what that scenario has happened numerous times.
Sure, you see
On these newer ships, there's redundancies everywhere. So they have redundancies on the engine. If one goes down, another one can take over. So that's kind of an important. Most people just don't even think about that. Well, I think about that because I'm so involved in the cruise industry. I see when something happens that's bad, and I go, well, there's a solution for that. The solution is go on a newer ship. Always pick your cruises based upon your ships, and make sure you're picking a newer ship. I would say something made from like 1999 or 2000 or till today. Those ships generally have redundancies. Also, things that change on cruises. Back in the day, you used to have one kitchen that would make a galley. They call it a galley, the kitchen that would make the same food that was plated in the dining room or thrown in the buffet, and that you would have at the buffet. Either one of the two is the same meal, and then you would have maybe a pizzeria, and that would be it. Now, these newer ships, there's anywhere between 10 to 20 restaurants. So if you don't like the meal in one, you can go to the steakhouse, go get some sushi, go to the Italian restaurant. This has an Italy restaurant on board. There's a Greek restaurant on board. If you don't want any of that, you just want a casual cheeseburger and fry, you can go get that with a shake. You can go over to the buffet that they have there. There's 2 different buffets on MSC World America, or you can go to the main dining room and have a sit-down dinner. And there's multitude of options to find food, and in each one of them, those are completely different kitchens with completely different menus. I say that, but a lot of people don't understand. That's a big deal, when it's all included.
That's huge.
You're like, that's a huge deal to be able to have all those options to go in and find them. Now, some of them have specialty restaurants where there's a small $10, $20, $30
if you want to go
if you want to go to the steakhouse, but you can get steak in the main dining room, and it's included in your meal, or you can
because I know it's a theme night every night.
There's a theme, and so I mean, part of the best part about going on cruises is you get to try dishes that normally you might not get at the other. If you went to Cheesecake Factory, you're like, I'll just get this because I know I like this. Where on a cruise you could try another dish or two and see if you like it. And it's a great way to try it, because generally the food quality is generally above average on cruises, because they have to kind of raise their game. And if they fall short and people review on that, then they have to raise their game and fix that. It's kind of like Vegas too. Vegas travel destinations generally have good food, because those are one way to entice you to come to those destinations.
Absolutely.
So generally cruises have really good options for food. Yes. Will you have perfect food the whole week? No. But your batting average is very high. And if you don't like one, you have multitude of options to go find and seek something that you would like in another place.
Makes a lot of sense. You're watching Ocean Spit, little show about big things. Special Ocean Spit. We're talking about my good friend Richie, of course, from Seventh Heaven.
It's Ocean Spit After Dark.
Oh, After Dark. I like that. That could be like 2:00 shows. After Dark.
Ocean Spit After Dark.
Roll them. Yes.
It's like a romance novel.
Yeah,
you and I.
Oh. There you go. God bless.
You and I in the ocean with a raft.
With the raft. There you go. And what's great about this, and we did do this together, and it's been a lot of fun, and been other bands, and it's been good because people can see a lot of stuff that's going on. But again, it's going to be a great time, and you guys got to join us on January 17th through the 24th of January. NTD Vacations, ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Put it in, or give my friend Mary a call, 630-681-1725. We'll be hearing from Mary very shortly. But in the meantime, let's get some other things. Oh, I don't know about these ships. I look out at my window or my balcony and I just see water and I'm freaking out. There's no land and I'm seasick and the ship is sinking and this and that. Now, Richie, you've even showed a video many times at a pre-cruise party, which is a great thing today. Richie and NTD Vacations if you book the cruise, you also get a pre-cruise party. And he explains a lot of this stuff that he's explaining right now. But you did the thing with the glass, and you remember you put the glass.
Yeah, it doesn't move,
and it doesn't move.
I have multitude of videos of those.
Now, obviously, things have changed through the years.
Well, because that's again going back to my point about cruises of picking a ship that has stabilizers. So, not to get too technical into it, but the older ships, everything that the weight of the ship and the stability of it is always point center, meaning that the engine is in the center of the ship to keep it stable. The older ships, you ran like a typical car with, engines, rotors, back, transmission going back to the rotors. The newer ships have electronic technology where the engines are still point center, but they don't need a transmission going back to spin the rotor. It's all electronic, and they use azipods or other ways to have the propellers be electronic and can move around, so they can parallel park the ship. And because they don't have that rudder system between the point center and the back of the ship to push with the propellers, that allows the ship to have the ability to have wings that come out to it and ride like airplanes underneath the ship, anywhere between 2 and 4 stabilizers, and they can ride the waves. Now, it's at the captain's discretion, and it's relevant to speed, and it's relevant to where we need to be. In other words, if we were doing a Southern Caribbean cruise and we had to get down to Curacao or Aruba and he has to haul, I never looked into what the actual knots are. The ships go 21 to 22 knots. I don't know if there's a certain at a certain height speed that they have to not have the stabilizers in, but most of the ships, they want the passengers to have comfort. So those stabilizers keep that ship stable. And that's why I can do videos and show that the water doesn't even move, because we're in the middle of the ocean moving, because the stabilizer.
Glass is full of water and it sits there and it doesn't move.
No, and we're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And that happens because
the ship is not stopped. It's actually moving.
But older ships can't do that. So that's why you want to pick the right ships. Always pick the right ships. Now, when you do something with us at Chicago Music Cruise, I've already done that diligence for you. I've already figured out this is a ship that I feel comfortable with, that I think is my decision. Probably the first decision of all have been the ship before I've made any other destinations, price, date, all the other things. I'm looking at the ship first,
which is important, and the safety of the ship.
I mean, that's good. Just so we have the best batting average of having an enjoyable week. In all the ships we've done, I've never seen. The only time I've ever seen somebody get seasick was when we were on the Carnival Splendor. And the Carnival Splendor is an older ship, and that one does not have stabilizers. And people were not that goes back in 2009.
And that's a while back, if you think about it.
Well,
the technology they changed.
Well, because on that ship, that was an old ship then. And I'm like, we'll never do that again. I'll never go on a ship that doesn't have stabilizers. Is it impossible? Never move? No, you might still feel some move, but I've never seen anybody seasick. Right. I haven't on any of those ships we've gone.
And then, I know you're not, you can't also predict the weather also.
No, but then the ships can outrun the hurricane. They can outrun the hurricane, because the hurricane, while spinning at a high velocity of speed in one location, moving from point A to point B, it does that over a longer period of time. So the ship can actually outrun it. So and you can see it even on a rainstorm. I don't know if you've ever seen this on the ships we've been on, where we're heading towards the storm. You can see the storm straight away, and all of a sudden the storm's there, and it's behind us, because the captain just went right around it, and the passengers aren't even aware of it.
Clue.
They don't even know. I mean, because the only time you'll ever have rain on a cruise is if literally they just going to go right through it. And usually what'll be interesting is sometimes they'll speed up and just blow right through, and they'll say it's going to rain for about 5 minutes, and it just goes right through the storm.
Right through it.
It's really at the discretion of the captain. And I'll tell you one other interesting fun fact. It's why generally I don't do cruises from New York down to the Caribbean in January and February and March, because it could be hurricane season, and in the Caribbean you cannot run hurricanes when you do it coming in off of those times of the year. Not only is it cold 2 days from New York and 2 days back, so 4 of the 7 is cold, but you also can't dodge storms because land is right there. So it's why you also don't want to do a transatlantic cruise during that time too, which is going from the Mediterranean or England and coming into America. You don't want to do transatlantic in January, February. The seas are very rough. So there's nerdy things you want to know.
But no, it's important if you want to cruise. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about here on Special Oceans Pit Night After Dark Air, and with Richie from Seventh Heaven, of course, with his water, and NTD Vacations. They're the one that's putting it together, folks. Chicago Music Cruise. You can join us January 17th through January 24th on the new MSC World America. It's a brand new ship. Again, Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay, Tony Ocean and the boys, and of course, Seventh Heaven. It's you can't beat it on that part. Now we got more things. We're going to talk about this whole cruise the whole time for the hour, folks. Our show's on till 8:30. And we just want to say that also we're going to have Mary coming on with some, and we're going to talk about some of the prices and stuff like that and little perks. But all right, so when you come and see, when you come on the cruise, I think when we did the 8-day cruise, I think we might have played 3 nights or 4 nights.
Or 4 nights, yeah.
On a 7 night, is that the same kind of thing?
Maybe, I'm like 3. I'm requesting 3 to 4. I'm looking at this ship. There's a few different areas that I think we can do something at. So now we're starting the process of getting approval for where and when to play. The thing I don't know about this cruise line with Royal Caribbean, I can look at analytics of every cruise every week of what the pace is happening on each, Eastern or Western Caribbean. I can see what's happening on the ship and look back at it over time to know what the laws of probability are on the calendar of the time in the day. So I'm trying to still figure that out. Like with MSC, especially this ship, you got to realize when we go on a new ship, they themselves are also adjusting what the rhythm of the pace of the entertainment
because this ship
is brand. It was just a couple months ago.
It just sailed a couple months ago, guys. This is a brand new ship.
Brand new.
So I mean, like I said, I think it may be the beginning of the year it first took off. The MSC
it was
April. Okay, so it's been it's pretty cool to be all putting this experience together.
Yeah.
Dakota, Las Vegas, you got to do it, brother. You got Mary's number there. I'll send you Mary's number. We'd love to have you and your lovely wife on the beautiful Chicago Music Cruise.
So much fun.
It's a lot of fun. All right, so we got the shows part of it. You've been on millions of them. What's the question that you always get when someone talks about the cruise? That you owe Richie? What about this?
Some people will be like, "Oh, I don't want to go on a cruise and be stuck on a cruise. I want to go to a destination." And I'm like, well, first off, the cruises are going to destinations. But what thing they don't think that, and I don't think this transcends well in the marketing of the cruise ecosystem. They don't really show you the amount of activities that are going on a cruise on a given night. Think about when we were on the last cruise that we were on. We would be playing in one room. There could be an ice show going on in another room, a Broadway show going on in another room. There could be an aqua theater show going on in the back. There could be a jazz artist playing over in the jazz room. There'll be a piano bar. Then you got the country bar.
Yeah.
Then you got the guy with the acoustic playing in the acoustic.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you can then go to the game rooms. You have arcades. You have outdoor amusements that you can do. You can go swimming, and then on top of all of that, you can eat at 20 different places.
Right, and I think on the Royal Caribbean they had,
and you could go shopping, and you could go gambling.
Yeah, right. And folks, they even had the last ship. They had a reenactment of the Central Park in New York.
Yeah, right.
You thought you were actually
it's beautiful.
in Central Park.
That part I wish was on the MSC World.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's great stuff that you got. And here the shows aren't like if you come see. Well, Seventh Heaven, they usually do 90 minutes when you go see them at their shows, or maybe 2 hours, whatever it is. Or if you come by a Tony Ocean show, it's 3 hours. These are like hour shows, 45 minutes, an hour show, because you can see the bands and you can get on that ship and see the great ship. So you're not going to stick there every fucking night.
You're doing all these different things at all these different places. So your whole day is going to contrive of a lot of different activities, from outdoor, indoor. There's a comedy show. There's a game room. There's a speakeasy. There's everything that you have. What's that? What do they call those rooms that are where they're like you got to get out of the room with the puzzles,
like a maze or something?
What's it called? Escape room. There's escape rooms on these things. That's a pretty cool. You think that's actually a lot of fun to do with a group of friends.
It is.
It's actually a lot of fun. You would be like, wow, I really had a really good time.
Let me tell you something. One of the greatest experience, and I didn't know anything about this. I missed it the one in January. Richie and Mary told me, you guys got to come to this show in January. I missed it. But I went in March. Now, I don't know if they have it on the MSC, but what was the one with the guy and they called the people out and
the comedy?
No.
Oh, the Quest.
Oh my God. I've never seen. Now, this is like a stadium room of fucking people. And
Exposing themselves.
Exposing themselves. And people, I mean, it was like.
We were laughing and crying.
Laughing and crying. I had an incredible time.
God,
that
was
the first time I actually sat and stayed for the whole show. A lot of times I'll go see something and I'll leave. But this was fantastic. And Richie, give him a short. What is a Quest?
A Quest is like an adult scavenger hunt, but it includes humans doing crazy, stupid things that normally, under most circumstances, you would not do. But because you're drunk and there's drinks flowing,
and if there's drinks flowing, Craig and Jerry Maselli, if you're watching, remember he fell over.
And he was in his underwear. With heels and a bra.
So
and I think a wig and lipstick.
And mind you, there's like 300 people. I mean, it's like a stadium. So this is, and one guy,
So
two guys
funny.
in the middle doing this.
So funny.
So there's great adventures, and that was a lot of fun. That was definitely a lot of fun. Your friend and our friend Tammy's watching. How you doing, Tammy? She comes to see a lot of your shows.
Yeah, she's at a lot of people. Yeah, they come. We're grateful to have a fan base that comes and sees us be crazy every weekend.
And you know what? That's what I say. I mean, that's why I've been doing it for so long. That's why you've been doing it so long.
40 years.
35 for me as Tony Ocean.
Yeah. You were before me. You were before me.
But it was fun doing what we do, and it's nice when we put these together to have Seventh Heaven, and it's so nice that they included us.
And I love hanging with the people that come with us. It gives us a chance, because it shows. Sometimes you get done with the show and then the venue wants to kick you out, or the sound ordinance, the permit, the fest closed.
Yeah.
You gotta go, and they're kicking you out of there. Sometimes you're like, this gives it, as long as you got like the pace, you can be like, yeah, let's sit and chat for 20 minutes or an hour, because I don't have to be anywhere. We're enjoying life.
Enjoying life and on the ship. That's right. We are in a secret hideaway here in Richie's studio in the Bahamas. The Seventh Heaven helicopter.
I wish I was
$5.
paying the taxes in the Bahamas.
Yeah, there you go. How about it? A special helicopter that took us here. So thank God. Anyway, yeah. So we're talking about the Chicago Music Cruise, and we don't do ocean spits at night. Obviously, they're during the day.
Don't the people that watch you have jobs?
I'm wondering. Yeah, right. Wait. Did the protesters have jobs? Okay, we're not.
I got nothing.
We're gonna go nothing there.
I got nothing about that.
We're gonna go nothing there. We still have a half hour of stuff, and we're gonna be bringing Mary on very shortly from NTD Vacations. Another thing, Richie, your shows are great. The experience of the actual people on the ship that work on the ship. I've never seen so many friendly. Sir, ma'am, what can I get you? When I was at the pool, these guys were right there
with a towel wrapping you up, and warming you up, giving you a hug.
If you wanted a drink, do you wanted? I mean, the service, even when they bought the food or whatever it is, it's really kind of cool. And you get people from all over the country working.
Around the world.
Around the world,
and they're away from their families for 6 months, a lot. And you'd be amazed on how many younger guys you ask them, and they are married with children, and they have young children, and they're away from them for 6 months. Imagine what that does, how much you miss your kids when they're under 10 years old, and you're working because you need to. And then when people are, I think in life is that you have to look at life and go, everybody in life is allowed to have a bad day. But like, these people have a batting average of having great days, of taking care of people all the time. And anytime I see somebody upset about service on a cruise, which is very rare, but even if they ever do, I'm always like, I want to know the circumstance, and I want to know what happened, and I want them to have a thing. Maybe this person doesn't feel good today. Maybe this person got yelled at by the last person. Yeah. And I mean, treat people fairly so that that they understand that, like, they're sacrificing their personal lives, granted for a job and an income, but at the same token, we're also human beings, and these people, I treat them with high respect, because that's a hard job to do, to be away from your loved ones, especially your children, for 6 months. So when we go on the cruise, these people go all way up and beyond to make us happy. And I'm one of these people in life that I'm like, don't kiss my ass. I'm not a guy like, kiss my ass because kiss my ass because I want my ass kissed. I'm not one of those kind of people.
Yeah.
I like to treat people equally and fairly to each other as we're all one. And so it's interesting to watch on the cruises how much these people really do everything in their power to make us happy for that week. Everything. You want a drink, sir? Do you need a towel?
Yeah.
Did you want this?
Yeah.
Did you not like this meal? Want me to get you another one?
Or you want,
Do you want your room cleaned? Do you want
Yeah.
something? Do you want a special thing in your room?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, that's like amazing. And so, you know,
and they have to be like that. Look at the rest
24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
And 7 days to 8
You ever,
days a week.
did you ever
just like
notice
a
your
job.
room guy is you in your room, and then like a few hours later, he's now in the bar and he's giving you bar, and then
And
now that guy's in the dining room,
Or
and
he's,
then,
or
I'm
he's
like,
calling
dude,
bingo.
right? I mean,
Or
like,
he's calling bingo.
right. I
or
mean,
whatever.
like, it's like they're working their ass
Or he's
off,
like
you know?
the announcer at the Quest. I think he was one of the bartenders. I don't know, but I mean, they're just what they do, and they treat you like family. And
Yeah.
but you guys, if you guys, this is just for people who've going to come on cruises, maybe never been on cruises, and there's some that have, and they've been through all these great experiences and do a lot. But the one we're talking about is the one called sponsored by the great NTD Vacations, January 17th to January 24th. The MSC World America. It's a brand new ship. It's an Italian ship. Of course, it's privately owned by an Italian family. That's
There's
what
a
they call
mafia
it.
on board.
There's a mafia. On board. And mafia stands for Mothers and Fathers Italian Association. So it's but it's family owned. It's family owned. What I mean, it's not a corporate America type of fucking cruise
Oh,
ship.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
so we just did some swear words. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's 7 nights: Miami, Honduras,
Oh my God,
Costa
it's
Maya,
so
Cozumel, Ocean Cay, Tony Ocean, and Seventh Heaven on this great cruise.
So
And
funny.
ChicagoMusicCruise.com. You push and you put in Tony Ocean or Mary. Give her a call at 630-688-1725. Say you want to go on the ocean. Let's go on board, people. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, Toto, you're right. You won't be disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. I've been on cruises before, and I've had the most fun on the last. This will be my third, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, let's thank our good friends from Armando Supermarkets. Buy local, shop local. 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Our good friend Danny Mazzi from the cruise ship. All right, Richie. Now you've been doing all these. Is there one place that you've been to that you like? The stops, the ports when you stop.
You know,
at?
this last one that we did when we went to Carousel and Aruba, that was one of the nicest trips. And I like the private islands because, you know, it's not that I like the culture of the islands, but the private island gives a nice, cool pace because the food is included on the island. You don't have to think about what you're going to eat. And you're just enjoying the beautiful weather. So I like going on cruises with private islands, but Carousel and Aruba were two of the beautiful, best ports I've ever been to. One of my favorites is actually Grand Cayman, but these large ships cannot go into Grand Cayman because if you go to Grand Cayman on a cruise, you don't dock. And supposedly they're building a dock. But if you've ever been to Grand Cayman, every ship has been out at sea and then they tender in to the island. And what's interesting is when you bring in an Oasis class ship, an Icon class ship, or an MSC World America ship, those and some of the new Carnival ships and the new Princess ships, these ships are so vast and large with the amount of people on them that what ends up happening is the algorithm of how many passengers are on the island versus how many residents are on the island. The passenger count is greater than how many people live on the island, and the residents don't want that. The residents don't want. There's more. No, I mean not like there's gonna be. That's not like you're gonna overtake the island like it's ours now.
Right. Yeah.
But you got to remember, you got to have people to service those people, and the people on the island. Some of them are famous movie stars or actors or whatever, and that's their vacation home. So they're not going to be there at getting you a cheesecake at the dinner.
No,
so you need to have enough people to service 20,000-30,000 people on one day at port, and then you have ship every day. And so like when are those people going to have a day off? So it's interesting because they are building a pier. It'll be interesting to see how many, once they build the pier, what limitations they put on ships for Grand Cayman. I'm getting too technical on it, but Grand Cayman is one of the nicest. St. Martin is beautiful.
St. Martin's beautiful too.
The beaches are in the plains, and we've done group excursions. So we do group excursions on some of the islands where these group of people are going snorkeling. These group are going beach. These people are going to the bar,
zip lining,
we're going to swim with dolphins, so there's different excursions that Mary put together that can happen. And when COVID hit, all that stopped. It's all starting to come back. So That's the thing. A crazy story I'll tell you about in Belize. We were on a Carnival ship, and we went to Belize, and we all went to go. We paid money in a group of people to go in Belize on a long truck to go to the cave, to go tubing in a cave. They don't tell you that you go like through a cobblestone, thing. And I'm like, oh my God. So we go through this cobblestone thing for like an hour, and I'm like, oh my God. And we arrive, we're like, okay, kind of finally we're here. And some guy got stuck because the water rose. So a guy was stuck in the cave with a broken arm in the cave. And so they wouldn't let us go in. So I'm like, okay, that's dangerous. Now we go back. And then the guy suddenly he's not there to give us our money back. So I had to go to the concierge and said ambassador or whatever, I forgot the name of the person is that takes on the consulate. Yeah. And go in and be like, hey man, Johnny's got our money, man. And I go, you got to get us our money back. All of a sudden, when that guy calls up, all of a sudden, suddenly, here comes this guy with a stack of cash.
And there's your cash.
And I'm like, we got to go, man. The ship's leaving. Another thing, I'll talk about one other thing about excursions. I always recommend to do excursions through the ship. And the reason for that.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you.
Because there was another time we were in Cozumel, and we're going to go ATV riding on the beach. And I go up to the guy. His first is like, meet at the Burger King. I'm like, well, that's an interesting metric. Like, we're meeting at the Burger King. Do we get like a Whopper with this thing?
Yeah, just meet in the parking lot.
Do I get a little crown? So then I'm like, okay, whatever. So we meet at the Burger King, and then I'm just hearing the guy. He's like, and I go, how long is this excursion? He's like, like 4 hours. I go, well, our ship leaves in 3. So what was going to happen then? Do you have a house that can house us all?
Yeah.
And I didn't go on. I turned around and said, I'm not going to go, because I'm like, if this jackass doesn't know what time he needs to have us back by, because it was not through the ship. And that was the straw that broke camel back. I'm like, I'm done. I'm never going on an excursion.
And remember, guys, just because, and a lot of people don't book through NTD vacations on these excursions, and you know why? That's what you should do. Just like Rich said, you're going to get the right insurance. You're going to get the right time to get back on the ship. They're going to know if you go off these and you book on your own shit, you might save a little bit of this, but you don't know. You might get a Henry, some guy with his car is going to say,
that's another interesting thing about speaking of booking. I'm going to give another interesting story. So when we do these cruises, some people will be like, I can get a better deal, and that's fine. Good luck on that. But here's what's interesting. Once you're locked to that, you can't be re-rolled if you're dealing directly with the cruise lines. And this doesn't even have to do with that. This has to do with going through a travel agent.
Right. The
travel agent, like us, we can see the rates drop. The owners of Village Tavern and Inn went in and they bought a grand suite. And when they bought the grand suite, it was like $10,000. And they put the deposits down in the middle of the summer. And then all of a sudden, Labor Day weekend, there was a sale, 50% off on suites. And I knew they did it. I went in, re-rolled them, kept in the same room, saved them $5,000.
Because you knew the sale was coming.
I knew the sale was coming. Now, Royal Caribbean would not have done that. They would be like, no, we're keeping the 10 grand.
We're keeping the 10
grand. And I
unless you find it.
So then this is a funny story. So now we're playing then Geneva Commons. We're playing all of a sudden a big tray of chicken strips come to the stage, and they're like, why did you bring her shit? I go, I just saved her $5 grand. There's like $10 in chicken. So she won. She's up.
Yeah, she won.
She won.
Absolutely. And Paul, you make sense. I know you guys are coming. You and Francine are coming on the ship, but don't want to miss the ships, because if you do, what happened? What happened?
That's another good point. That's the other thing, and I talk about this in the pre-cruise party. You don't want to, you got to stay on Miami time. This ship is leaving out of Miami. So you want to stay on Miami time, because that's considered ship time.
Yes.
And when we go through the Caribbean and you're going through these different islands and time zones, your car, your watch and your phone are automatically refreshing themselves to the time zone you're within. So now your watch and phone are not accurate to ship time. And if you're not paying attention to ship time and you come, the ship is leaving without you. Now, when you're on an excursion with the cruise line, they know where you are. They have a way to reach you, and they know what time to get you back, because they're on ship time. When you're doing it on your own, I remember the person you're on the island with, that's their time of the island they live on. They're not on ship time.
They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. Like you and I don't have, our phones don't say what time it is in New York right now. We're not in New York.
Yeah.
We are in the Caribbean.
But we are. We forgot to say that on the
Pay Caribbean taxes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh.
But that's why you don't want to miss a ship. And every cruise we've gone on, someone misses the ship. Just go sit by the ship as we're pulling out and watch people running down the pier. And guess what's not with them? Their passport. It's in the room.
It's in
their
room.
cash or credit cards. They
Credit
didn't bring
card.
it on. If they were going on a beach excursion,
They might not bring it.
why would you need cash and credit card? You're going to be in the water.
You're not going to have anything.
You have a bathing
or
suit.
your passport,
Right.
or your ID,
or your passport,
all that.
ID, and nothing. And now what are you going to do? Ship's gone. Everything's there. It's gone. So you're like, now you got to go to a hotel. I need a room. Okay, give me your ID and your credit card. I don't have it.
I don't have it.
You see the problem?
Big time. So it's got it, folks. And there's a lot of stuff and more questions you need to ask. Like I said, we're going to have Mariana. Also, you can call Mary and she's going to give you all the
I'm
information.
endorsing my
too.
water.
Got to fill that water in because I don't know how much water you drink a day, but you drink a lot.
Like a couple gallons at least.
God bless you. This is always a Spit Little show, and it's only not the regular show, folks. It's only strictly our after dark.
Like I said,
After dark with the raft. That's later on. But we're going to, and it's just we're talking about the cruise, folks. It's and with Richie from Seventh Heaven who put the whole cruise together, folks. This will be our third with Seventh Heaven, the Chicago Music Cruise, but of course on the new ship, the MSC World America. That's right, friends. Marcia, well, you were on the last one with us in January. It was a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys will join us on this one. Again, folks, now before we bring Mary on, she'll be coming on in just 1 minute here. The cruise is actually January 17th to January 24th. Not 25th, 24th. My fault.
You can be so drunk that you come home and you think it's the 25th. You can be like,
well, that's
an extra
true.
day. Oh, I got to remember the hangover.
The hangover is important. So let's just say it's still the 25th. There you go. By the time you get home.
I'm helping
Anyway,
you out.
yeah, you got it. January 17th to January 24th. MSC World America, guys. It's 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Ocean Cay, which is a private island. We'll talk a little bit about that. I am so excited to be doing this again. We always have a great time. And can we get Mary on? Mary, you got a couple minutes here?
Want to get between us? Want me to move?
Yeah, well, no, let's get between us. There you go. Let's get Mary in here, folks, who also works with NTD Vacations. And she's the one, not only the real estate, but she also does this too. So we got some questions for Mary. And then, Richie, you can jump in on some of the answers too as well. All right, Mary. Very important. Passports.
Yes, very important.
What is the passport? Make sure it's done. What's the date that's got to be on there? How does that work?
Oh yeah, definitely have a passport. Make sure it's valid at least 6 months after 3 months or 6 months after
6 months post sale.
Post sale. Yes.
6 months post sale. So if we're sailing in January, you want to make sure it's good through to end of July of that year. That law is by the Coast Guard and not by the ship.
Right.
All right, and that's important too. And you also need so you need a passport and a real ID now.
So you don't need if you have a passport, it will supersede the real ID.
Okay.
But you do need to have a passport, and the reason for that, some people will argue, well, if we're staying domestically and we're going from Miami back to Miami, you don't need a passport. True. However, what if you get stuck and you miss the ship because you went on, save $10 to go on the excursion with the Dolphins with Johnny, who doesn't know the ship time.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck in Nassau or you're stuck in Costa Maya.
Yeah.
How are you getting back into America? With what? You don't have a passport. You didn't need one.
It's a clusterfuck, folks.
It's a completely.
It really is.
You really need to have a passport. Because ultimately it just supersedes all ways of travel. Everybody accepts it worldwide. It'll get you where you need to go. Just make sure it's valid 6 months post sale, and you're good.
And you're good.
And yeah, because trust me, you'll have conflicting stories. You don't really need one on. No,
you do need one.
Just trust me. Unless we're going to New York, New Orleans, back to New York, then home. Okay, fair enough. You probably don't need one because if you get stuck in New York, you're in America already. But we're not. We're going to the Caribbean that are owned by different countries.
Yeah, once you get off the ship, you're legally entering into that country.
Yeah, you're in another country.
Right.
So
a whole different world over there. You can't say I know Jack or I know Joe.
But it's Italian. You might be. You know Tony.
I might be able to help you.
Tony.
It might help you.
And you'll be all right.
All right. Now, points. The question that I've been getting, guys, and you guys, Mary, you can definitely answer this. I'm sure Richie can too. Some people that were on the Royal Caribbean said that MSC might match the points.
They do.
Is that full match?
Yeah. So your match
Explain points. Explain
points are our rewards program, and Royal Caribbean and MSC, and they're all starting to do it, where they recognize that you've been loyal to cruising, not just to the brand, and because they want your business, they try to match. Now, each criteria of the matching system has different things that they give you. You know, one might give you a free drink a day, one might not. One might give you a T-shirt, one might not. So each tier is different of the description within the tier, but they have a tiering system of rewards, and they will carry over your points back and forth.
So what does that do for the price? Say
It doesn't really do anything for the price. It does for amenities.
for amenities.
Okay, it
so-
doesn't change the price generally.
So for MSC though, it will give you like a 5%
Right.
depending on your point system.
Okay,
So
that-
not all cruise lines will do that.
Right.
Some will, some won't.
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool because if you've been
Yeah.
on the Royal Caribbean and you have a bunch of points, and then that all helps, especially for the, like you said, the amenities.
I
and
mean,
everything.
well, the craziest part already, this ship is half the price of the last cruise. This ship is half the price of what we paid in March.
and March. Now, granted, March also because of spring break.
Yes.
and because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a great deal. I mean, you can't beat this deal.
Not for the weather when we're going to get out of here when it's cold and it's snowing.
Absolutely. Mary Richie. Now Richie doesn't do the drink package, but
I don't drink.
but
Got
you
my
do
water.
you do the beverage package, the juice, coffee, that kind of crap, right?
No, actually, well, I didn't on the last few cruises because my loyalty program had got me like 4 or 5 free drinks a day, and that was enough. All I wanted was a Coke at lunch and a Coke at dinner, and that was it. And if I bought a sweet, sometimes that'll come with an extra perk. A sweet will.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to. So I don't buy any more packages like that.
I
I
got
don't think I will on this. I might just pay for the Coke as I get it. If I want it.
Right. If
But
you want that.
I'm in a yacht club suite, so I might get some of it free. I don't know.
That might be something. But for the people who do come, who are drinkers, like myself and people. Now, Mary, a drink package is pretty cool. Now, so, to get this drink package is your water, is your soda, is your wine, is your beer, is your hard liquor. I mean, it's there. It's at your proposal as much
And the
as you
rates are
want.
cheaper on here, aren't they?
Yeah,
And they are.
There's a promo going on right now too. So your alcohol package is $343, which comes out to be like $49 total for the whole week, a day.
A day, $29 a day, folks, for the drink package. If you add it up.
My cousin Ryan will drink that in an hour.
Well, and if you want the drink package, you should. If you're a drinker, and even if you're not, it depends what you're looking for. But I'm telling you, man, it's top notch.
Are you a drinker?
Liquor? I drink. Yes.
What's
sir.
your favorite drink?
I like. Well, it used to be Jack Daniels, but I've not drunk. I don't drink that no more. That's the crazy Tony.
What do you
So I've been. I stick to my vodka water.
Vodka water.
And I put a little. I got my little iced tea. I squeeze into it, so there's still a little flavor, but much nicer. But and it's very good. Now, someone said, and I think this is right, Mary. What do you think? For people who drink, if you drink about 7 drinks a day,
Five to 6 drinks a day, then the alcohol package is worth it.
then it's worth it.
You only have 2 choices: a non-alcoholic and an alcohol package. They don't have a bottled water package or anything like that, so it's either one or the other. And whatever one gets in one room, the other one gets the same.
Right. You can't beat that, folks.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
a good
get
deal.
Right,
And gratuity is included in that price.
right, exactly. And like I said, if you're drinking, like I look, say you get up in the morning and you're having breakfast and you have a mimosa, that's liquor.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a Bloody Mary, that's liquor. So that's one drink right there. And if you go to the pool, whatever it is. So if you're going to have 5 to 6, 7 drinks a day, which some do, some of the people I know will be drinking that much, it's worth it. But there's also the soda package, beer, coffee, soda, and all that kind of stuff.
And yeah, you could get water and have nothing, and then take the money you're saving and then buy me some Christmas presents.
There you go. That's very important
Just
too.
saying.
Just saying if you want
A
that.
guitar.
So-
I would need a guitar.
and a guitar. You
I
need something
need a
like
guitar.
that. Room service, Mary. There is room service, right?
Room service.
Which is very cool. A lot of people can get room service, and maybe you don't want to go down to breakfast. Maybe you want
Did you order any of the last one?
No, I never had room
We did.
service.
We did like a couple nights because the kids are like, "Dad, I want something," and I just ordered room service.
And then you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And let's talk about the late night bars. There's a couple of them that burgers, pizzas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I from what I was
Pizza,
told,
burgers till 1.
no, I thought it was like till 2. I thought somebody
No.
said, was it 1?
Well, according to this, it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, so Mary has the
I'm
breakdown.
prepared.
Mary's like, I got all the answers.
Says till 1:00.
I'm Lord of Cruises.
That's why it's important, guys. These are some of the questions that you have to book through NTD Vacations to be part of this particular cruise. And remember, they're also they're a travel agency.
Yeah.
So if you're not even if you don't come on this cruise,
Yeah.
you want to go to Vegas, Arizona, but wherever you're going to go.
We have a lot of people on cruises all the time, almost every week.
NTD Vacations will book your next family cruise, whether you're coming on this cruise or not.
And we save a lot of people a lot of money.
This is the one company you want to use, which is very important.
Yeah.
If by the way, I want to say one thing. If you do use us and want to save money, the farther out you book, the more chances you have to save money. So if you know you want to go on a cruise next summer, next spring break, next Christmas, that gives us a lot of time to know when a sale comes, whether we can re-roll it, and we constantly. Mary's, you've done that with a few people already on Finnegan with the cruise. You probably saved them thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
and
Tommy's happy.
and rolled them, 4 times, re-rolled them because the price would drop, re-roll, price drop, re-roll, price drop, re-roll. If it does, not all the times that happen, but when it does, we can do it.
You grab it. And
not all travel agents would ever do that because they're in the business of making money. So is the cruise line. We are in the business to make money, but that's not our objective. Our objective is to take care of people. So,
right.
So
remember,
that's a big difference.
It's not their main thing.
No, yeah. I mean, Mary's doing real estate. I'm doing the band. So it's not our main.
So it's like, and they want to make sure that the people have a good time. Now, someone did ask, what if we are, I got to make sure I say this right.
Dancing nude in the
in the bar?
That.
No, let's make sure I say
this
right.
Hey, Tony, get in.
What about the,
too much Jack Daniels?
What about can you wear masks? Not wear masks? What's the whole COVID
No, there
thing?
is no restriction. There's no mandatory on restriction. It's choice if you want. But I did we see anybody with a mask on last week?
Maybe a guy that was robbing me at the store, maybe. But that
in Central Park,
in Central
in
Park,
the bad neighborhood,
in the bad part, bad part of the cruise. The only time I see anybody in a mask. No,
this is the bad part of the neighborhood. Got the sushi.
So someone did ask me about that because some people are still, still.
You can if you want.
You can if you want. That's up your total option. Do the ship supply the socks that you put on the doorknobs? Okay, well. That's a whole different and the pineapple thing. That's a completely different story.
Did you know when I came to the last cruise, I come back to my room and some high school kids with his girlfriend in there and has a sock on the door because he's sharing the room with other people. And I just post on the internet. I go, "What's that for?" I mean, I knew what it was for. People are like, "You don't know what that's for?" I go, "No, exactly."
No, I think so. I remember the pineapples were banned on certain cruise ships. Yeah, so forget the pineapples. But we're talking about a family fun cruise ship. With music, with Seventh Heaven, Tonio, and think about this. My Honduras, folks, for your cigar smokers, wow. Okay, just that alone. Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay, private island, which is really cool. What's good about the private island, folks, because you're on the ship, if you're on the ship, all the drinks and food are free on that island because it's owned by MSC World America. So that's really, really cool. That's a good perk. For that.
In Cozumel, if you have not been to Cozumel, definitely go see the old section and the new section because the old section has a lot of the artisans and a lot of the crafts that the locals are doing, and they're really good at what they do. Like they make some really nice stuff. I've always bought something in Cozumel in the old section because I'm supporting their community because they've done some amazing stuff. You're like, wow. I saw a guy whip out with spray paint. He made a picture and I was like, that is amazing. Like what he did with spray paint.
There's artists. They know what they're doing over there, folks. Absolutely. So we are coming to the end of the hour, but before we do go, it's important. Why we did this show tonight, my good friend Richie and you know what, and Mary, thank you, because I know you guys are real busy to do this, and we're going to let people know. Ocean after dark. Yeah, we're gonna get the helicopter and the raft, and we're gonna go whatever.
If you want us to go, still call me and let me know.
This is what we need to do, right?
Get you into the group.
Yes, and guys, you got to just give Mary a call at 630-688-1725. Caller questions at chicagomusiccruise.com. Mary will also put the link on there if you guys are watching. Again, January 17th to January 24th, 2026, MSC World America, Seventh Heaven and Tony Ocean. It's going to be a lot of fun and very important because it's not that far away, less than 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Already,
Oh my
you
God.
believe that shit?
It's going so fast. This year's gone so fast.
You can do your podcast too, right? From the
I'll
show?
do a couple podcasts. Yeah, we'll have a little fun.
Yeah, Richie on
Uh,
there too. And
You gotta
We'll
wake
have
me up.
some-
You better bring me donuts, bro.
I'll bring you
I
donuts.
got your strawberry glaze. All right, I'm
We're
in,
in. We're ready to roll. And it's,
Whenever time we've been on TV, I'm like, I'll do the TV show at 5 a.m., but you need to bring donuts.
Bring the
Is it-
donuts and the coffee. Are you a coffee guy?
No, I never coffee in my life. Never had it in my life.
I have a cup of decaf one in the morning
I've
just
never-
because it warms up the throat, but that's it. I
I've
can't.
I've never had coffee in my life.
This guy doesn't drink, doesn't do anything. But look at the energy this guy has. I don't know how he
I
does it.
love it.
And Mary, now MTD Vacations is very important, folks, because this is the way you want to book the cruise ship. You want to get the best deal. You want to get the best to know the best deal for your buck, and that's what you're going to get with MTD Vacations. They know what to do, and it's a great ship. It's going to be it's brand new for all of us.
Yeah.
We're excited. It's going to be a new adventure,
Yeah.
and you got to jump on it because it's important. Let's get to another sponsor before we say good night, folks. We're talking about our good friends from Imperialux. Imagine putting your money to work for you, becoming your own bank, and making your retirement dream retirement reality with guaranteed lifetime income. Wendy Thompson, Craig Conklin help you create personal pensions, grow your wealth, secure your legacy. It's never too late to start. Take charge of your financial future today. Call them at 608-901-2113 or book them on Canley for a free consultation to start building the retirement you deserve. My good friend Wendy and Craig from Imperialux, becoming your own bank. Also, folks, busy week coming up to Thursday. We'll be at Positano's in Oak Brook. Friday, Chicago Prime. Saturday, Tavern on Division. And where's Seventh Heaven this weekend, Friday,
I'm
Saturday?
on your show. I'm having chicken piccata, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Well, where are you at Friday?
We're doing the Jet City Foundation show at the Fontainebleau in Des Plaines. It's a gala and a fundraiser, and then
Very
we
cool.
have Saturday. We are at Tailgaters down in Bolingbrook.
In Bolingbrook. So there's a good stuff. And don't forget, folks, we've been giving away free tickets for my show, Tony Ocean and Friends. Sunday, November 9th at the Des Plaines Theater. Not only is it Tony Ocean in the band, but we have Louis Pipes, Lisa P., Joe Catafio, Jenny Impardo, John Guarini, Christian Knievel, Robbie Knievel's daughter, and Evel Knievel's granddaughter, Stephanie Lemon-Brigner. There are a lot of singers. Going to be a lot of fun. Oshos.com, Sunday, November 9th at the Des Plaines Theater.
Do you know I'm related to Joe Catafio?
He's your uncle, right? Or cousin.
His Joe Catafio's brother Frank is married to my dad's sister.
And
So I've been around when he was in Jade 50s. I was a little 8-year-old boy watching him
Me too.
in Woodfield going, I'm going to do this.
I was
for a living."
a little older than you, but I was standing in the front watching too, and I bought the 45. Cheer up, let's get happy. The green label, whatever it was. Joe, and right now I think he's home now, but he's coming home
from the
But,
Beatles. thing.
Beatles and Cavern doing the whole
Yeah.
Cavern Magical Mystery Tour thing up there. So
That's totally that's going to change his life. It's a life-changing moment for Joe.
It
I can't
is.
wait to hear when he gets back. We should go out to grab some dinner.
Absolutely.
And we'll hear the story.
and tell the story
he'll have
because
some.
he's got some.
He's got some
Absolutely.
for sure.
Guys, it's Ocean Spit. We want to thank you all for tuning in, and just make sure pass it around. You guys can watch it at any time. Again, I want to thank my good friend Mary from NTD Vacations, and don't forget Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. 7 years for Mary at the real estate. 7 years. Sell,
Who needs a
sell,
house?
or buy,
Who
buy,
needs a
buy.
house?
Who needs a
Buy
house?
house. Sell house.
And we have to. Manuel, the helicopters guy, said we have to leave.
Based on the taxes, there may be a lot of people selling houses.
Now, you ain't kidding, that's for sure. So
Mary's
yeah,
like, "Go get you out of
the
here."
helicopters. Manuel, the helicopter driver, says we have to go because there's a storm coming. But anyway, folks, Carlo Joseph's with us. Hi, Carlo. He's leaving on the cruise. Listen, let me tell you. Oh yeah, hold on. Carlo Joseph was on the cruise. No caffeine. Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You gotta love that.
What if he knows in the water? Richie, what's in the water? Water.
It's
ice.
just water.
A lot of ice.
Listen. I can tell you, this man does not drink, does not smoke, doesn't do anything but water and play and
eat
make
chicken
music.
fettuccine Alfredo in
And
your
eat
house.
chicken Alfredo and pastries in the morning.
Yeah.
But Carlo has been on the cruise with us, and because of the gambling that he did, because he won. He won. He gambled and he won. He's already been on. He's going on a cruise. He's leaving on Sunday on the cruise because he won from going on our thing.
Yeah.
He's going on next week. He already went on the MSC.
He's
So-
thrown 3 people off the ship last time we were on because
Yeah,
they were not being respectful.
they will not
So
be
Carlo was
respectful.
like, "You're out of here.
So Carlo
You're
took
outta
the
here.
baseball
What do
bat.
you mean you don't like the show? Get out of here.
Yeah, they don't like
We're
it.
done with you."
Anyway, we got to go, folks. It's Ocean's Pit. Now, remember, folks, a couple things. Last time, I'm going to repeat it one more time. But before we do that, let's not forget our friends from Ace Hardware. Don't forget to download the Ace app. All new Ace apps download. Receive a $10 coupon just for downloading the app. Our good friends from Ace. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors.
And Christmas trees, Christmas lights, wreaths.
Oh, a lot of good stuff. Santa and all that good stuff. Frosty. One more time, I will tell you about this cruise. If you don't know it already, it's a broken record, but we're going to cram it down your throats because it's that good of a deal. And we don't want you to miss it.
No, and if they don't go, we'll send them pictures of warm, nice beaches.
Yeah,
cold.
While you guys are
in the
freezing
cold
your ass
here,
off,
while they're
wearing your
here,
hats
and they're like,
blankets.
I should have went.
When you're sitting, yeah, that's it. You should have been there. Anyway, it's the MSC World America, January 17th, January 24th. Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com, put in Tony Ocean. Or, better yet, to find out the answer to some more of your questions, call Mary, 630-688-1725. Guys, we got to go. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock back at the Elk Grove Studios. Remember, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. And if you're offended with anything you hear on this show or any show, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Talk to Carlo. He'll take care of it.
He'll take care of you. And go see Seventh Heaven, the best band to come out of Chicago, folks. That's for sure.
You're out of this shit.
And don't forget, Tony O. Check out the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. We got a lot more, guys. Enjoy the great night. And go cruise. Come and join us. It's going to be a party on the water, which is going to be a lot of fun. 7 nights. Guys, we got to go. Listen, Ringo Starr says peace and love. We need it more in this world now than ever. Just be kind to everybody. Because listen, it's not an easy world out there. And if you got somebody you want to talk to or someone you want to, if you have a beef with somebody, maybe now it's the time to call up and say, or text, say, man, because life is too damn short. Cruise, listen to music, have fun. That's what it's about. Ringo says peace and love. John Lennon said peace and love. Nick Sahajas, who's in New York now, happy birthday, early birthday to Nick Sahajas, who's in New York right now, and happy birthday to Gabby, Carlos' daughter, a little early birthday. Guys, God bless you. Have a great one. Nick Sahajas, take us out, Piano Man. Bye-bye.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Thank you, everybody. Peace and love. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Carlo. And thank you, Mary. Bye-bye.